Hey everybody, we've got a late Saturday video this time, and we're going to cover some of the fallout from the Biden-Trump debate. I've been extremely busy the past couple of days, so apologies if I'm delayed on some of the comments. It's only been a couple of days, but we're going to see what voters thought of the debate, and we're going to take a look at the markets. So there's going to be a lot of data here. Let's get into it. So here's the Newsweek headline. It says Biden campaign says no conversations about president dropping out. I'll scroll through here and give you a few thoughts before we get into the polling, but it does seem like the debate was pretty much a train wreck for Biden. I thought he was weak, but actually not as bad as I've seen it made out to be. Again, that might be because of some low expectations, because I already thought he was old before the debate. But from what I've seen so far, a lot of pundits, even Democrats, think Biden should step aside. For me, the easiest solution would have been to have an actual primary just a few months ago. Maybe Biden would still be the nominee, but it would have been a lot more pragmatic to see Biden debating other Democrats. I think it pretty much just confirmed what everybody already thought about Biden, but it does cut against the argument that I've seen many Democrats make about how Biden is super sharp behind the scenes, and any clips of him we've seen are not at all representative of the real Biden. I don't think a lot of voters bought that, so that debate was just fresh evidence. So is Biden actually going to be the nominee? Just like with Trump's conviction, we've got to give it a little bit of time, at least a week. Let's see what the first batch of battleground polling shows. I would guess it's still going to be pretty close given polarization. I could see Biden dropping a point and maybe Trump going up a point, and of course in a close race that could be consequential, but it could always end up being much worse than I think. And the other thing to keep in mind is we still have more than 4 months to go. So Biden's in a really weak position right now, but Trump has sentencing coming up. There could be other debates. It seems like from this point, Biden can pretty much only go up. So I'm not going to be too surprised if something else comes up over the summer and the race could shift yet again. So let's get into some of the fallout polling. We're going to start here in Morning Consult. We've got more Democratic voters than not want Biden replaced after debate performance. 3 in 10 Democrats say Harris should be the party's nominee if Biden drops out. So let's go down just a little bit, and they've got a head-to-head poll here. So first we've got Biden and Trump after Trump's conviction. Biden was at 45, Trump was at 44, 6% someone else, 4% don't know. Under that we've got after the first debate, and it's exactly the same. 45 Biden, 44 Trump, 4% don't know. The only change is someone else goes from 6 to 7%. So if you're Team Biden, that's got to make you feel pretty good. Let's go down to the next section. This asks share of voters who said President Biden should or should not be replaced as the Democratic candidate for president. And this is among all voters and those who watched the June 27th debate. So should he be replaced? 60% of all voters say yes, 29% no. Of all voters who watched, 63 say yes, 27 say no. So no matter how you slice it, that's a clear majority that say he should not be the nominee. Now, if you just go to Democrats, even most of them say he should not be the nominee. 47% say yes. For Democrats that watched, it goes up to 50%. Independents overall are at 59. Independents who watched are at 62. Republicans, it doesn't really matter, but they're at 74% that say yes, and those that watched are at 75. Now, I also think at this point, there's going to be some Republicans that don't want to see Biden replaced, given it looks like he's in a weak position. Then we've got if Biden were replaced, who would do it? Kamala Harris is in first place at 30%. That makes sense. She's the VP. Second place is all the way at the bottom. Don't know or no opinion. That's at 21. Gavin Newsom is at 20%. Then everybody else is in single digits. So it does look like Biden is in a weak position, but if he were to step aside, then there's no overwhelming favorite. Now we've got a chart here that asks if you agree with the following characteristics. For is a strong leader, Biden went from 43 to 39. Trump ticked up from 52 to 55. For trustworthy, Biden held steady at 47. Trump went from 42 to 45. For cares about people like me, Biden actually improved here, 45 to 49. But Trump actually improved by more, 43 to 48. Now here's where it gets pretty bad for Biden. Is too old. Biden was already at 64%, but he shot way up to 78%. Trump was at 42, he went to 45. Is mentally fit. Biden was 43, he went down to 35. Trump was 47, he went to 54. And finally, for is in good health, Biden took a hit. He went from 41 to 28. Trump went up 10, 52 to 62. There is more stuff here, but I'm going to keep it moving. They also rate the moderator's performance, and I thought it was acceptable or decent myself. There wasn't any kind of an overt bias, and in this survey, only 8% gave them a poor rating, and well over a majority rated it either excellent or good. Now let's keep it moving. Let's go on to Ipsos. The headline here is Biden lost the debate, but Trump didn't win. That was actually my reaction after the debate, but let's go down to the first chart. It says ratings of Biden's mental and physical fitness to be president decline after the debate. So pre-debate, 27% rated Biden as good or excellent when it came to his mental fitness. After that declined to 20. For physical fitness, it went from 21 all the way down to just 15. And it also says here, among black respondents, it went down 15. Those age 65 plus went down 11. and those with a bachelor's degree or higher declined 10. Trump's ratings were stable, maybe they increased a couple of points. Then we've got likely voters who watched all or some of the debate. They ask, no matter how you plan to vote, who do you think performed best in the presidential debate? Trump wins by an almost 3-to-1 ratio, 60% to Biden's 21. Don't know is at 19. Next to that, how would you rate the performance of each of the candidates? Biden has 73% that were poor or terrible. Only 8% say good or excellent. With Trump, he's at 33% poor or terrible, 40% good or excellent. So again, it looks bleak for Biden, but is it actually going to move the needle? Under that, it says, despite the poor ratings of Biden's performance, few respondents are no longer considering voting for Biden. Just 4% are giving less consideration for Biden. In comparison, 2% are giving less consideration for Trump. Now, as I've already said, just like with Trump's conviction, I expected him to take a slight hit there, and it looks like he did. With this, I expect Biden to take a slight hit, and it looks like so far that's panning out. Although we have really yet to see any swing state polling. And so again, we've got to keep it moving. You can look at some of the other data here, and you could also look at the sample sizes or the methodology. And as always, all the links will be down below in the description. Let's move on to Data for Progress. Their headline is, in post-debate poll, voters think Biden is too old to be president, yet alternative candidates perform similarly against Trump. So 4 in 5 voters watched or at least read about the first debate. And then down here it asks, do you approve or disapprove of Biden and Trump's performance in the first debate? For voters that watched or read about the debate, Trump's performance is a net 4 positive. Biden's performance is a net 33 negative. Just with Democrats, for Trump's performance is minus 71, Biden's is plus 27. Independents have Trump at minus 5 and Biden at minus 50. And Republicans are plus 84 on Trump and minus 85 on Biden. How about down here? It says, who do you think won the first debate? 30% for Biden, 8% don't know, and 62% for Trump. With independents, it's 22 for Biden, 68 for Trump. Even 27% of Democrats say that Trump won. Down here, they ask your familiarity with some of the quotes from the debate. I'm not going to spend much time on this. All I can say is the bottom one, we finally beat Medicare. Somehow that's the least popular moment on here, but for me, that's the one that stood out the most. Not necessarily that line, but the 10-second portion where Biden was unable to finish his thought. Then there's some more concern about Biden's age, but then it asks if you're more concerned about Biden's age and mental and physical health or Trump's criminal charges and threats to democracy. All voters are more concerned about Biden at 53% to Trump's 42. With independents, it's 55 for Biden, 36 for Trump. So I'm going to keep it moving, but down here, this asks the favorability of some other prominent politicians. And then under that, they've got some head-to-head matchups if it's not Biden as the nominee. This kind of speculation, I think, is always difficult, but generally Trump leads all of them by 2 or 3 points. So there's a lot more data here, but we can't cover everything. I think the theme is pretty clear that Biden is just way too old, but it might be way too late to replace him. And even if they did, there's no telling at this point how much that would improve the Democrats' chances of beating Trump. It is astounding how much baggage both of these two candidates have, and it still looks like nothing's really changed. Now, something could come up. I'm always open to some different possibilities, but let's take a look at a few markets to see where people are putting their money. So let's get on predicted, and the first one is who will be the nominee for the Democrats. Biden is at 69 cents. That's down from the mid-80s pre-debate. Harris and Newsom are tied at about 14. Then we've got who will win the general election. Trump has ticked up to the high 50s. Pre-debate, he was in the low 50s, and Biden has gone from the high 40s down to 35 cents. And there's a couple of markets for swing states on here. We've got Wisconsin. Trump, the Republican, is now favored at 54. Biden, the Democrat, is at 48. And you can see before a week ago, Biden was the one with the lead. And finally, we've got Georgia. Republicans at 74 cents. Democrats at 27. Prior to the debate, Republicans were in the high 60s. Democrats were in the low to mid 30s. So that's where things are at. I don't think there's any groundbreaking information here. Biden took a hit. There's really no other way to spin it. But it looks like at this point, he's staying in the race. The convention is not until August. But if there is another debate, I think the expectations are going to be nothing for Biden, that if he does even a little bit better, it's going to be viewed as a victory. But there's a bunch of other things that could change the trajectory of this race. One of the big things is Trump making his pick for running mate. My prediction is it has not even gotten close to as ugly as it's going to get. So far, it looks like Trump has the advantage, but we're going to keep following it and see what happens. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about the fallout from this debate? Is it completely over for Biden, or is there still some time for him to recover? And what do you think about any of the reactions you've seen? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and join if you'd like to support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.